Hello there and welcome along. The Gardener Ben here with your next rose review, and I've chosen to pop this one into a pot and elevate this one onto the table for you because if I'm honest, my knees are really starting to hurt. The 2025 season for myself has been very long, but I'm keen to get this particular review out because I know so many of you are very thirsty for this particular variety. The little rose in front of me today that I'm going to be talking to you about is classified as a miniature or patio climber. This one is Warm Welcome. Bred by Warner in 1987, this one is available here in the UK through Peterbilt's Roses and a multitude of other different people worldwide. This is a really very bright and vibrant little rose, which you can grow in two different ways. You can either grow it in a small patio container like I've got it here, a small plant reaching around 3 to 4, 5 feet during one season, and prune it back hard as you would do a hybrid tea or any other shrub rose. Or if you wanted to, put it into a larger container or plant it into the ground where you can grow it as a small and compact climber, reaching just around 6 to 8 feet in height with a spread of around 4 to feet. So absolutely perfect for a small wall, maybe if you're gardening on a balcony or terrace and you want to keep it at maybe a large pot, something like an oak barrel. Or if you wanted to plant this up a pillar, a post, or a side of a rose arch, meaning this one will pretty much flower from richly down at the ground all the way through to the top. So it's a really useful little rose for that. Everything about this rose is miniature. It's all very petite, right down to the very bright tangerine orange flowers, which are produced freely from late June all the way through to the very end of September and into October. And of course the foliage. One of the nicest things about this particular plant is the whole color combination. Now, on full disclosure, this bright, vivid orange is not something that I would normally plant in the garden. Very, in my opinion, 80s, surprise. Obviously bred and introduced in 1987. This is a little bit sort of changing rooms, early 90s for my color palette, but I admit it is very cheerful. It is very bold. These beautiful sort of tangerine, almost terracotta orange flowers with that lovely yellow center in the very center. There is 9 petals reliably on this, making it classified as semi-double, perfect for pollinators and enticing pollinators into the garden, and also produces really good hips come the end of the season. This particular plant, if you leave it undead headed towards the end of August and into September, the last flowers of the season, will produce a really great crop of bright orange and very vivid red hips through into November, December and early January. So a great one for enticing wildlife into the garden as a general rule. These small and very delicate flowers, measuring just around 1.5 to 2 inches across, produced individually and in small sprays and clusters, as I say, from the very bottom of the plant all the way through to the very top. So if you're growing this one on a arch or a pillar or a post of any description, climbing it in any way, you're guaranteed a really good display all the way through the plant, which is very unusual indeed. It is quite thorny. The thorns are very small, so it will be ranked with a medium to high thorn count today, which is a little bit of a problem if you are planting in a high traffic area. You are going to have to be aware of that. But I really like the color combination. I say that lovely burnt orange, tangerine, terracotta color with the foliage. The foliage has got this lovely, going to bring that close to you for a second, this lovely sort of grey green smoky hue to it. Not really quite, it's kind of plum color, so taking on that sort of purple edge to it. Again, barbs are present along the very back of the leaf axil, so you're going to have to be careful with this one. It's a little bit spiky. You can see it grabbing hold of my t-shirt just there, but the foliage taking on this sort of lovely plum smoky grey hue together with the flowers, that burnt orange, that tangerine color, a really nice color combination all together in a really nice aspect. This one absolutely loves the sun, and because it's long flowering period, plant this one on a south or a west facing aspect in full sun, getting at least 3, 4, well sorry, not getting three, getting at least 4, 5, 6, or 7 hours of direct sunlight per day. Because of its open form, it also takes inclement weather really well. So it does well on an exposed site. So if you're growing somewhere particularly windy or where you get lots of rain, for instance, if you're joining me from the coast of Ireland, where you have large amounts of rain dumped very, very regularly, this one actually standing up really quite well to the inclement weather. So taking wind, rain, and obviously heat really well. The fragrance on this one, incredibly light and sweet. En masse, it actually produces quite a nice aroma. So I'm going to be ranking this one with a 3 out of 10 for fragrance rating today. Disease resistance one, this one is really, really very good, as a lot of the Warner roses are. Special attention being paid to the disease resistance. I have the pleasure in awarding Warm Welcome a 7 out of 10 for disease resistance. That, with its medium to high thorn count, makes this a really, really good rose. All-round rose for growing, I say, in two different ways. Either keep it small by pruning it hard and keep it in a small patio container where it's going to work continuously for you all summer long, from the end of June or mid-June all the way through to the end of September. Or if you wanted to grow this one as a small climber, it's really very, very good if you like this bold and very, very vivid colour. I say available here in the UK from Peterbilt's Roses and worldwide from many multiple different sources. Today's rose is Warm Welcome.